What's going on, golf addicts? It is a Monday morning, and it's Monday morning
Mm.
of the John Deere Classic. It is 4th of July weekend. I don't know. 4th of July is tomorrow. We have a wonderful 4th of July. Freedom, America, all that good stuff. Yes. Pat, how we doing? We're drinking coffee, and
Yeah,
I had
well,
my coffee this morning. I had my workout. I'm hydrating, so no.
yeah, I got up a little later. It's an off day for me. Reason being, I'm here with you on this first look show, and so I got a little coffee, little front nine, in my.
Yeah.
It's an interesting TJ mug. Shout out Marscus.
Yeah, Lady Marcus.
It's like it's not on the side; it's on the
Right.
front. So
Yeah,
if you want to show it off, you got to hold it weird.
you got to do one of these.
Yeah,
That is kind of weird. Leave it
yeah,
to Marcus to design it that way too, huh?
yeah. He gave me some weird reason also for why he did that,
I'm
but
sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, listen, Ricky finally gets it done. Like, he finally got it done. We talked about him a lot on both shows, talked about him a lot in the Nut Hut. The Nut Hut crush. Also, you hit him. You had him on your card. It was
Yeah,
impossible for me to have him on my card at shorter than 25-1, but we both loved Ricky all
yeah.
week. We've been talking about Ricky all year. A lot of people have, right? I mean, it felt like a major community win. It felt like a golf fan win.
It did.
Like everybody just won yesterday, except
Yeah,
for Colin Morikawa and Adam Hadwin. But other than that, it felt like everybody won.
it really did, and I was so happy for Ricky. I know a lot of people were. I was also I just I wouldn't have minded if either Hadwin or Morikawa won. I mean, obviously because Fowler was on the betting card, that's who I wanted. But I mean, I would have been really ticked off. Well, I guess I would have been ticked off if Morikawa won. Probably not as much so Hadwin, but having been on Morikawa all year and he screwed me at the beginning of the season on the betting card, then I would have been pretty ticked. And I had him last week and he missed a cut.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was pulling for Ricky the whole way. I mean, I had nobody, none of those three on the card. But obviously you had Ricky on the card. And again, like just as much as we've talked about Ricky, and I said it last week, I said, if I miss him at 12-1, I miss him. And I genuinely meant that. And it didn't kill me yesterday. Like I wasn't, I mean, of course, at one point, when they were talking about how close he came at the US Open, I was like, yeah, really wish you would have done this at the US Open at
yeah,
50-1 or whatever he was, 60-1. That would have been really cool. But a lot of people tailed him. A lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people following. I was looking in the Nut Hut section under our winning column. I mean, a ton of winner. I mean, first of all, our boy props picks John Sayer literally had, I think, 15 props cards he dished out that all won on Price Picks and Underdog. Lukey Boy took down a nice one. Dame had Ricky. A-Dub had Lukey Boy had Ricky. Mad Hatter had Ricky. All these people had Ricky in the Nut Hut. So it felt like a good community win too. I had him top 10. I kind of did the same thing I did with Cantlay the week before, where they were just too short to have on the outright card, but I felt like the top 10 was kind of a lock.
yeah.
And he did his thing, man. And I think it's a good reminder. I was trying to think, like, what can we learn from Ricky other than just like, Hunter Mahan talked about it a couple weeks ago, right? He's been so consistent, and his swing is less about athleticism and timing than it used to be, and it's more about consistency and mechanics and technique, which is solid and
Hmm.
tends to carry over week after week. But one thing I think it reminds me is that, like, the community, especially like on Twitter, loves to bash guys that just don't get it done, right? Or they feel like don't get it done, or they call them a choke artist or
Beta.
beta, whatever. Um, but I just, we talk about it all the time, right? How thin the margins are in golf. But the consistency typically is going to, like, when you give yourself so many chances, the more chances you give yourself, eventually it hits, like what we saw with Tony Finau back in the day, what we saw with Victor Hovland back in the day, like before he could win outside of, what was it, Puerto Rico or whatever it was he did. But Max Homa is an example. But, if a guy is that technically consistent and can do it on any course against any strength field and is up in the top page of the leaderboard and finds himself with more and more opportunities, eventually, I think most of these guys close the door. Like, I don't know, how do you get to the PGA Tour without being able to close the door to some extent? There are guys that I think are definitely better at it than others, but that's what I was thinking about yesterday. It was like, nobody gets to the PGA Tour unable to win golf tournaments. Like, at the AJGA level or the mini tour level or the college level or the Corn Ferry Tour level, at some point, like these guys do know how to close. It's harder for some than others. Yes, it's a spectrum, but so many at bats that Ricky's had to get it done in the last 4 years, I guess, since he won last, and he finally did it. And it reminds me about a guy like Tommy Fleetwood that we
Yeah.
feel the same way about, And you have to look at each tournament as its own thing and forget the rest of the, all the other tournaments. It's a new week, it's a fresh week, it's a different field, it's different conditions. Ricky throwing the dart on 18 when only 8 players had birdied that hole all day, and he hits it to a foot. That
Yeah.
was sick.
That was amazing. It was a great shot, and then the shot in extra holes, and the sudden death was pretty damn good too. Now,
Hell of a drop.
hell of a drop, which I said to you. I think I texted you. I was like, I don't know, he might get a good drop here, and he got a great drop.
So did he get I couldn't hear it as well. Did he get the drop because of line of sight with
No,
the
no, it wasn't even. I think it was something else. I don't know if there was like I missed that part. I just saw him getting the drop, but I know he was where the gallery was. But I didn't. They didn't say anything about the grandstands or anything. I think it was something else, but I could
I
be
was
wrong.
thinking it could have been line of sight, but yeah.
But maybe it was. I don't know. But you're right. I mean, he kept giving himself shots to win. He said it though, that he knew it was coming eventually, just the way he was playing, and it did. By the way, Fleetwood, I've already put a bet on him at the Open Championship at 25-1. I mean, I had to do it, and he's giving himself chances too, so maybe he'll win. But
Yeah.
great week, and
Yeah.
so
Fun week. It felt like we had a lot of, like I said, it felt like we had a lot of winning in the community overall, and I love it
that's
when
good.
that's also happening in the Discord and the Nut Hut, which plenty of people were doing. It was good to see both on the prop side as well as just a bunch of winning Ricky tickets. Lesson learned too. This is not the DFS show, but here's another lesson. Whoever won our listener league, I can't remember who it was, had a hell of a lineup.
Yes,
And had they put that in other nice contests, they would have cleaned up. And apparently they did not. So there's a lesson I feel like everybody should learn.
yeah, for sure. By the way, I mean, I know we're probably going to go down the leaderboard here in a
Mhm.
second, and I think I got to give the Nut Hut props when we go down the leaderboard. So
Okay. Why don't we do that now? Why don't you've transitioned us.
yeah, well, I mean, I have to
Why don't you do
say,
the read too? Can you do the ad? Could you do the
no,
ad?
you go ahead and do that. I mean,
No, why don't you try
it's
it?
too early.
Nobody's
I
watching.
don't even know where the read is. I don't even know where the ad
There's
is.
no read. We've been doing it since January. You just do it.
Well, I don't. This is when I tune out, and then I start to go look and see who's going to be my down the board. While you're talking
you
that.
didn't do it beforehand.
No, sometimes I do. Sometimes I
Would
do,
not say.
but I know I've got like 30 seconds where I can do it while you're doing the read.
Oh,
You got to understand that these things go in a flow of an order for me, DB. And
okay.
yeah,
Well, I tell you what. I tell I tell you what. As shitty as my golf betting outright game is right now, my real golf game is doing well. We're
it is.
doing
Yeah,
well. My last few scores that I put into leaderboard, I'm tracking my stuff on leaderboard, which you can do. It's a great app. It's free. It's in the iOS store right now. And by the way, now you don't have to put in the TJ code. You don't have to do that. You just click the link that we give you in the description of the podcast. Check that out. Download the app for free and join the Tour Junkies group, by the way. They just launched the groups feature a couple weeks ago, which is fantastic. We have one of the largest groups, if not the largest group in leaderboard, which makes it a lot of fun to kind of see what our followers and our friends, our family is doing out on the golf course. Also, could be helpful for you to already join so that later down the road, if we have an event and leaderboard does some scoring for us, you're already kind of in there and ready to go. But it's a fantastic app. You can also track your bets with your friends. It'll dot up the scorecards for you, your handicaps, all that stuff, and it will. Here's what I love about leaderboard. I can keep all my stats right there on leaderboard. Fairways, where I'm missing them, if I'm hitting them. Greens and reg, where I'm missing them, where I'm hitting them. How many putts, birdies, stroke average on par threes, fours, and fives. I can put all those stats in super quick and easy. I mean, literally, after every hole, it takes 10 seconds to do everything. And then when I'm finished, I can choose. That's what I love. I love that I can choose. There's a little radio button that says, do you want to push this to the USGA Gen handicap? And you can just say yes or no. And I've been playing really good lately. And there's been a couple that I've said, no, sir, we are not sending that to the
what
US.
are you saying? You're saying sometimes are you massaging the handicap?
I am definitely massaging the handicap because you and I have a big event in September, and I can't go into this big event in September playing to my actual number. I have to sandbag a little bit, or we don't have a chance. You know this.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
this. So,
I mean, yeah, it's just a matter of how things go. I mean,
yeah,
our first we had to skip it last year. Oh, because of Golby's Cup, we didn't get to
yeah,
play last year. But the year before, I mean, literally the first match we're in, we're getting sandbagged to death right off the bat.
yeah. So
So
we got. If you can't beat him, you got to join him.
yeah,
And I love that I can just press a little radio button and go, no, we're not going to send that one. But what's cool is if you do send it, also the USGA gets all your stats as well. That all the stats and the score passes through the leaderboard app. Super cool. It's free. Give it a shot and join the group. Join the group. All right, that is leaderboard, and this is down the board presented by our friends at Leaderboard. You
yeah.
know what? Now I'm going to start, Pat. I
All
hope I
right,
take
fine. You're
a
gonna
shot.
steal mine. You're gonna steal it.
I think. I mean, how can we not talk about Peter Kest?
That's who it. Yep. Yeah.
How can we not talk about him?
We
And
have to.
actually,
And you
we
got to
did.
give the Nut Hut some credit. I
We
mean,
got.
you may have talked about him, but I have to say I didn't really even hear or think about him until the Nut Hut.
Well,
And
he was a late qualifier.
yeah,
He
he was a
late
Monday
qualifier,
qualifier.
and he DT. I got to give our boy DT. Yep, DT was also one of the uh, one of the Wyndham Clark touters at the U.S. Open. And he brings up Kest's name and he says, "Hey, what about this guy? Like, he's a
Mhm.
young guy. He's Monday qualifying, throwing darts." Now, I will say this: DT did not know that Peter was a dog on
Uh-huh.
the Outlaw Tour
Yeah.
during the COVID days. I had to tell him that. I remember PK, and PK was a killer. He was a regular in the DraftKings lineup. He was a 9K and above player on DK during the 2020 COVID shit. And when he was crushing it on the Outlaw Tour, young kid, really good college player, doing well on the Corn Ferry Tour. And damn, what an opportunity for him. Finishes T4 last week, gets into the Deere this week. The dude is definitely an interesting guy. I think there's
He is.
what's crazy is there's like so many of these guys, I think, but all it takes is one PGA Tour event for them to realize how good they really are, and then it's on.
Yeah, I
It's kind of
agree.
like if you found a guy struggling or like middling around on the Corn Ferry Tour, but gave him one good week in a PGA Tour event, he could be a star. It's just confidence, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. Did he kind of threw off like Willie Z point 0.5 vibes to me. Like I don't know what it was, but
Like Willie Z and Owen Wilson. Like if Willie Z and Owen Wilson had
yeah,
a baby,
that's Peter
which I
Kest.
hear you can do these days in 2023. I hear you can do that. Those two could do that.
Yeah.
If they could figure that out, they could have baby Kest.
I mean, that's what I was feeling with him. But he was fun to watch. Hits it a freaking mile,
Yeah.
you
Love
know,
his
and
swing too. It's just kind of simple to me. It
yeah,
looks simple. A lot
it
of
looked like
speed
you
there.
could go out and do what he was like, swing
Exactly.
the way he
Yes.
could swing.
Yes,
I
you're
mean,
right.
even like his little wedges, because he had a lot of wedges into greens. Just kind of an easy,
Yeah.
like not much to it.
It's like, damn, how can I not get in that position that he's in?
Yeah.
How could I not be there? But he makes it look so easy.
Yeah, I agree. So we basically had the same down the leaderboard because that was going to be mine, and I had to give props to the Nut Hut on him. It was great to see. Good to see a guy like Justin Lauer. How about Justin Lauer? He seems to just sort
Yeah.
of pop up when it's
Yeah.
crunch time. You got to get those FedEx points. Justin Lauer comes in. I think he might be another one you look at this week. Same kind of
Justin
deal.
Lauer's wife needs to like turn off the data or like not give him the Wi-Fi password at the crib so he can't know where he stands at all year. He just needs to not know
Yeah,
all year where he stands. Just be in the dark, or yeah, I don't know, because you're right. At the end of the year when it's crunch time, he tends to do it.
yeah,
So, and I think he doesn't like to play those courses where he's got to hit it 330 and he can putt a little bit. So
yeah.
yep, good tournament. Love to see Ricky close it out, man. It was that was good to see. All right, let's get rocking. So we got the John Deere Classic. We're gonna kind of treat this like the first look show. Obviously, the odds kind of dropped this morning. I think there's probably already been some movement, and we're gonna kind of just talk it out. I don't know how committed we are to some of these. Some of these will be more committed than others, but we're gonna shop around. We're gonna talk it out and see where we stand. This is what I do every morning with our Discord in the Nut Hut, just some family
Hmm.
time. We got some folks in the chat. Thanks everybody for being in. And Pat, let's start top of the board. Here we go. I can't remember because A, I have a bad memory, and B, I probably want to forget all the worst fields that we've seen this year, thanks to elevated events kind of throwing things off. Is this the worst field we've seen all year? Can anybody in the chat think of a worse field? I feel like there
I
might have
think
been one on the
it's
West Coast swing.
yeah, I mean, I think this has gotta be one of the worst. I mean, Mexico was pretty bad, but you still had, like, Finau up top, maybe a couple did Rom play
Yeah,
Mexico?
Rahm and Finau, yeah,
Rom
it
and
was pretty
Finau.
bad after that.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this one's not great, and especially when you get to the top of the board here. It's very hard to click a name up here, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, your
And
favorite.
Denny's already getting shorter. Like, he was 16-1 on DK when I first looked at it, and I'm looking at DK now, and he's 14-1. Money's flying in on Denny.
Okay, I mean, you texted me this morning and you said, DB, I just want to let you know I'm not betting Denny McCarthy at
I'm not. I
14
can't.
to 1.
I'm not. I shouldn't say I can't do it because I bet Ricky at 14-1 last week, but there's a little bit of a difference here. So
Denny has definitely burned both of us.
he has.
I kind of feel like, all right, and for first of all, like Cameron Young at 16 to 1 is the stupidest price I've ever seen. Like, if you bet Cameron Young this week, you're a ding
I'm
dong.
not doing it. I'm not.
I don't
Doing
know
it.
how you
I
can do
know
that.
you were thinking it, but I'm not going to do it.
No, I don't. I didn't think you were bet. I actually think you are intelligent enough to not bet Cameron Young.
Intelligent enough. Thank you.
Yes. So I think that's stupid. Aberg, who I definitely roasted a lot of people on Twitter yesterday who were already victory lapping the Aberg win on Friday and forgot that, professional golf on the PGA Tour is 4 rounds.
I didn't see all that. I missed it.
You didn't see it on Friday?
No, I missed it.
My
I mean,
tweet,
this is a kid out of college. He hadn't even played 10 golf events yet, and you're roasting him on Twitter.
my tweets were. I thought my tweets were really good yesterday. I wasn't roasting him. I mean, how can you not love what Aberg's doing?
Yeah.
Guy's hitting at 330 on a string. That is incredible. Like, that will translate on so many levels. But that it's not the long drive competition. And
Yeah.
you still have to beat the best players in the world, and you got to get the ball in the damn hole, Ludwig. You got to get the ball in the hole. And when he's not finished inside the top 20 in his 7-hole starts on the PGA Tour, and people are damn victory lapping on Friday, I wasn't making fun of Aberg. I was making fun of the other people, really. That's what I was doing.
I mean, I think that deserves some clarification. I mean, this is what happens on Twitter. And then we even got people in comments here,
What?
talking about Aberg. I love Spaz. Where are the Aberg on the Ryder Cup truthers now? Listen, this is nothing against the kid. The kid is a absolute stud. You can't be dissing on a kid who hadn't even played 10 golf events yet. But I get it. A lot of people on Twitter get all nuts about him, and that's what it is. But you got to have the distinguish. You got to distinguish between what it is here.
Well, now listen, we weren't planning on getting into Ryder Cup discussion, but I actually think, why wouldn't you put him on the Ryder Cup? Like, the European team does not have the depth that the U.S. team has. I mean, listen to who's on the European team right now. John Rahm, Rory McIlroy. Okay, Yannick Paul, who I realize is having a great year. Adrian Meronk, who is having a good year, but like, we've seen
Yannick Paul sounds like he should be playing in Wimbledon this week. Is all I gotta say.
Yeah, Victor Perez, like, been there, done that with Victor Perez. Adrian Otaegui, Tommy Ladd, Shane Lowry, Jorge Campillo, Juiced Luton, Pablo Larrazabal had a great year. Piss Bear, whip your wiener out on a plane, Thorbjorn.
Yeah, I think you got to get
the top 12 right now.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're Europe, who is already a major dog to this thing, which I realized they were also a big dog in France when we went and they kicked our ass. So they're already like major dogs to the Ryder Cup. And you need youth, right? You need an injection of youth, kind of like what we did with Cam Young
in
the President's Cup. Like, why not? I would put him in. I would put him in right now for sure. If he can hit a 330 on a string and he's supposed to be the next best thing, I'd put him in over a handful of those. Over Juice Luton? Are you freaking kidding me? Give me a break.
Yeah, I'd put him in. And plus, we're gonna get some more events with him here.
Yeah, I forgot about Vic.
Yeah,
my bad. I mean, their whole thing is weird. Hang on, their whole I'm looking at the rankings. Why is it showing? They do like the different the world points and the European points. That's right. See that I forgot all those people. I'm an idiot. Terrell Hatton, Matt Fitzpatrick. Okay, Justin Rose. So right now the ones on the fringe are Moronk, Sepp Straka, Seamus Power, Alex Noren. Then you have Victor Perez, Otegwe, Rye, Detry. I still think I'd put Aberg in over Power. As bad as Power's playing right now, I'd put him in over Noren.
Certainly.
I'd probably put him in over Moronk. I think I'd put Sepp in, and Aberg would be the next man in. If he continues to just play okay, but shows that kind of firepower, I think I would.
Yeah.
Anyway,
would you bet him at 22 to 1
no.
this week?
If you were gonna bet one though, would you bet Denny or Russell Henley?
I think I'd bet Russell Henley. I almost said Dussel Dinley.
Russell Henley?
I'm not even drinking yet. Russell Henley, I think. I mean, I'm seeing him at 18 to 1 still on DK. I think if I've got to get, there's only 5 players.
He loves the JDC.
There's only 5 players up here that are in this category. We're going up to 25 to 1, right? Or do we? I don't know.
Nah, yeah, we're just kind of going.
We're just kind of going here. So, I mean, I think I would take Henley over Denny. Definitely over Young. Definitely over Abear.
Yeah. I think I agree. What's the best number we can get on Russell right now? 18?
I see 18 on DK. It has not changed yet.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think I would just prefer to have a few extra points there on Henley. I mean, however, though, like a Denny top 10 feels kind of like a thing we should do.
Yeah. I don't mind Denny top 10, but what is it? I mean, we don't have any of those.
We don't have it yet. I'm just saying I'll be on the lookout for it.
Yeah.
I mean, Ricky last week was plus 190 in that field, and it was Ricky.
Yeah.
It got shorter, but okay. There's not really much up here. So then, like, to me, the Adam Schenk, Eric Cole, like this 30 to 1 to 40-ish range is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love this spot. I mean, Schenk, by the way, I did confirm with Brett Swedberg before the show. He is on the bag for Schenk this week. Schenk has hired full-time Brett Swedberg, our boy, which is fantastic. But whatever this arrangement is, they're kind of on and off until the new season starts. So Schenk had his coach on last week. I mean, it seemingly hasn't mattered because the first week he had Swedberg on the bag was when he lost in the playoff to Griot at Colonial.
Yeah,
and then he came close again last week, or at the Rocket with his coach on the bag. Schenk's just playing really well. So, and I think he's going to get hammered. So, I think 31 to 1 on FanDuel was the best number. Yeah, you can still get 31 on Schenk is the best number. You agree with that? I'd assume.
Yeah, I do. I think Schenk. I think he's going to be the Fowler this week, though. Where last week I felt like everybody had Fowler on their cards.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody's going to have Schenk on there, but I still like the number. I really like Eric Cole at 30 to 1.
I think he's another one everybody's going to have.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, just been so good this year. I would love to see him win. After all, he's kind of one of those that, I mean, he hasn't been at the very top like I feel like we've seen Ricky with so many top 10s. Eric Cole's a lot of top 25s, but he's still giving himself a shot. So I like Eric Cole up there.
He's 33 on MGM, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
I think a lot of cards are going to have Schenk and Cole on there. I mean, I saw a bunch of people in the chat too already talking them up. So I would imagine they've shortened already a fair amount this morning. So I think we get that. By the way, I mean, usually I'll talk about weather in the first look show, and just a quick first look on Monday. It doesn't look too bad. It looks like weather's going to be pretty good most of the week. Nothing really alarming in terms of like a wave advantage we should kind of hold off on. But all right. Are you interested at all in Hadwin, considering how he's kind of played here lately? I mean, I know he's a little bit before these guys. He's like in that 22 to, well, he's at 28 on MGM actually. So that's the best number I can find on Hadwin is 28. What do we think about Hadwin right now?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at Hadwin too, and I think he may be one I end up clicking on. Now, we haven't seen him here in a while. Well, I mean, we saw him last year, but he missed the cut, but he hasn't played. He didn't used to. This wasn't really a regular event on his schedule.
But I think that's different. since last year, because this used to be the first event before the Open.
True. So a lot of
You
people
know,
would just yeah.
yeah, I think that's one reason why it's weaker too. I mean, at least when it was right before the Open, the guys who wanted to play and wanted to go make birdies the week before the Open would come play here. Um, but I think now that you have the Genesis Scottish, a lot of these guys that
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Well, they're traveling over there too. Like it's
But I mean, his irons right now look fantastic. He is gaining a lot of strokes with irons. Um, Obviously putting tremendous. I mean, for the week, again, he had a really strong iron week. The putter is hot. I think if you can go ahead and grab 28, I kind of like 28. If it gets any shorter, that's going to be tough. I mean, this
yeah.
is a guy who hasn't closed out a tournament since 2017. But we've seen a lot of guys that, I mean, Ricky's one of them, Kurt's one of them, Griot's one of them. Seen a lot of guys close out tournaments that it's been a long time.
Speaking of closing out tournaments or not closing out tournaments ever,
Hmm.
what are you going to do about Patrick Rogers at 40-1?
Absolutely not.
What was the deal with the withdrawal last week? I saw that he withdrew, but I didn't see if there was any particular reason for it. I don't think you bet him at 40-1 outright,
Hell no.
but I could see him like being a decent number for a top 10. And Patrick Rogers can come in and get a top 10 here if he's
He's
not
had
in.
he's had one top 10 here in his whole career. Nine try. He's been at the John Deere every year.
Yeah,
He's had one top 10.
I guess. Well, and he has been sort of well, he's just so.
I ain't touching Patrick Rogers at 40.
I mean, last three out of 4 events T30s. I feel like right around T30.
Our boy, I love Dave Spag. I think he's trying a little too hard on that one. Hatton to win.
I love it.
That's like trying to say can't win. Patrick can't lay. Can't. That's a good try. Yeah, good one, Dave. No,
Rogers is one of those though, kind of like if he wins ever, I'm gonna be okay with it if he's not, because
Oh
I'm not
God.
gonna have him on the card. I'll just be like, whatever. Patrick Rogers got to win.
Oh God. I mean, I'll be. Ugh, no. Mm-mm. I would much rather have Taylor Moore right around him. He's at 31 on FanDuel's the best number I can see. He was at 35 literally 30 minutes ago on DK. Now he's down to 30. So people are hammering Taylor Moore. Obviously had a good week last week.
You go back to Ben On there at 40-1.
Boy,
He
Ben
burned
On.
a lot of people.
Yeah, Ben On hurt my feelings. Ben On hurt my feelings. I don't think we can. I mean, the putter is ice cold. I tracked
It
his
really
ass.
is. Yeah.
I tracked his ass on ShotLink all week. It was tough. Is Grillo still?
I thought about him.
I like it. I mean, this 35 range is 30 to 35 ranges. I mean, my entire card might be this.
Have already though like used my Grillo card since I hit him at Colonial? Like,
But when you hit it, I think everything kind of resets. Like you have extra Grillo tokens, and now
okay? Oh, so I got more tokens with him.
Yeah, I think it's better for you than it is for me. Like I'm still chasing the Grillo hit and miss the, it's like missing the what was that thing a couple years ago where everybody freaked out because of the moon and we had to wear those weird glasses and everybody walked out of the parking lot at dinner or at lunchtime at their office and put the glasses on. That happened. Remember that with the moon thing, like a blood moon or something, or what happened?
An eclipse?
But it was like a really super rare one. Like there's
Oh,
never going to be another one in our lifetime. It's like me still chasing that if I'd missed it or something.
I mean, I didn't know we were getting into astronomy on the
I didn't
show.
either. It just came to my head. I remember when that happened, you felt like, oh, you had to see it. If you missed it, you're never going to get it again.
Mhm.
But you might go out there and walk out there and throw the glasses up there every now and then and chase it, try to see if you can find Grillo up there. I'm interested in it. Like he's playing well. He's putting obviously seemingly better. I kind of like it.
Okay.
That's probably it. Kind of as we look in that range. Anybody else here? Till we get.
No, I mean, yeah, I think that's it for me.
I think I'm going to pass on Jaeger. Do you think people? I feel like a lot of people are going to continue to play Jaeger, and his stats look good, like week to week. but he just has this one round. I mean, for last week it was round 3 where he's just not there. He's not putting all 4 together. As good as he's playing, it just feels like he's not really actually that close to winning.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm just sort of out on Jaeger for right now. I mean, he's not really showing you much with his finishes on tour. I mean, he's consistent. I feel like if you want to play him, maybe DK or DFS is the way to go. If you want, I don't
Yeah,
know what his
top
price is.
20.
Obviously, I don't have his price yet, but I mean, he
Yeah.
makes a lot of cuts. He's got upside.
Yeah.
But I just don't like the 40 or wherever. I mean, that 40 to 1's what I'm looking at. It may be better
Well,
somewhere
that's
else.
what makes me kinda like, as I was scrolling initially, that he kinda is one that makes you stop. You're like, "Oh, he's playing well." But then, like, you dig in, it's just not. I mean, he's not even close to being in the conversation late, like, at all on a Sunday. And
Mm.
I know I had the Jaeger rant weeks ago when I talked about how he'd won 6 times on the Corn Ferry Tour. I feel like if he can get in contention, he could be one to close the door. We just haven't even seen that happen. As good as he's been playing, he hasn't been doing that. He's not been putting himself out there to get close.
Yeah, agree.
Um, so we also found out last week, because the next couple names on the board for me that start standing out are in the 60 kind of range. They may have shortened, but they were in as of 30 minutes ago. We found out Mark Hubbard and our friend Kyle Peppers separated. I talked to Pep, and sounds like it was a very cordial separation. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy, which kind of makes me wonder if I don't know. I think he could go a couple different ways with Hubs. Obviously, he's had a good year, but he's kind of disappointed the last couple of events.
Mhm.
Seems like this would be a great spot for him. He's played it well before, but yeah, miscut at the Rocket, miscut at the Travelers, not not the same iron play that we've seen. But I don't know who he's going to have on the bag, but it could be a little shot in the arm.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you is if
Yeah,
he mentioned who was going to be on the bag, but
we'll probably
eh,
find out. But
it may not matter all that much. He's been playing well, which kind of the weird thing to me. It was just how well Hubs has been playing all season long.
yeah,
Um, so, but yeah, I mean, it could be a little, like you said, a little shot in the arm. I mean, we saw that with Cam Young, even though he's been terrible since then. But when he first got to Sori on the bag,
yeah,
he certainly had a shot in the arm and won. Um, so who knows? Wait,
yeah.
he didn't win, but he finished second, right? Yeah, second to Burns. Sorry, I get
Um,
confused. I know you had them both on the card, so it didn't matter who won. But
yeah, I'm looking here at Mark's. Yeah, Mark's approach play last week. There was not. I was gonna go dig in and see, like, was it one hole, but it kind of, I don't know, kind of wasn't. It was kind of a handful of holes around 1 and 2. I mean, he missed the cut on the number, so it still wasn't a bad week. He shot 2 under and 1 under. I don't know. He may not be ready to win in a birdie competition, but Chez Reavie, though, at 66 to 1, Chesticle doing his thing still.
yeah,
I think we keep riding Chez Reavie. T29 last week, gained strokes with the irons again. Gained a lot of strokes with the irons actually last week. He's played here a handful of times, actually a lot of times. He's only missed 3 cuts in his career. T5, T15, T18 finishes here. Seems like a good course for him. But iron play has kind of leveled up for Chez. Putter's been pretty hot too. It wasn't at the Rocket, but putter's been hot most of the year. So I think 66 on points bet. That was the best number I found a minute ago. Let me make sure it's still there. I think that's a great number. Yeah, it's still there now if you can hit it.
yeah, I like that as well. What do you think about Michael Kim? I mean, I'm seeing him 60 to 1 on DK, but he's as high as 90 to 1 on some other books. What is he? 90 to 1.
Yeah, I mean,
And
obviously
he's won here
crapshoot here.
before. He won here in 2018. He's been playing pretty well. Um,
I guess the big question mark is, has he kind of figured out the irons? His irons were really what was helping surge him up there a little bit. He's been putting well, but last 2 events, U.S. Open and Travelers, really not great with the irons. But I mean, John Deere's probably a better course for him in terms of off the tee than I would imagine US Open was, and I don't know about River Highlands, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's guys I like better in that range. What
Okay.
about Peter Kest at 80 to 1?
That's crazy. 80 to 1.
I mean, it's probably
I mean, he's 65 to 1 on DK.
he's 80 on FanDuel. Let me see.
Huh.
Let me make sure he's still there. Yeah, no. FanDuel just corrected. Nope. He was 80 to 1 30 minutes ago. He is now 65
Wow.
on FanDuel.
Yeah, I don't think I can go there.
Probably not.
I mean, he just was Monday qualifying a week ago.
Yeah.
I mean, let's calm it down just a little bit.
80, I think I was in. I think I was kind of in on 80. I mean, what does he have to do? Doesn't he have to He didn't lock up the temporary membership, right?
No, he
But
didn't.
he's close. And obviously like the kid's he's kind of free rolling. Like he's got to go for it in the limited starts he's going to get, and he needs to stay hot to keep getting, either the points that he needs, or an invitation to the next low class event if he doesn't win. Okay, DT says he needs a T76 to get temporary membership. So yeah, I think the play on Kess is top 40, top 20.
Yeah.
And if you really, really love him, a top 10 probably would be a 5 to 1 number, 4 to 1 number. I don't know. Yeah. Dylan Wu continues to do his thing. Lucas Glover right there they were both at 80 to 1 on FanDuel right before we got started. I like both of those guys. I mean, D Wu just kind of hanging around the leaderboard. Yeah, he's still at 80. Lucas Glover's still at 80. But D Wu last week just hanging around the leaderboard. I think was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday he was. I mean, going into Sunday, he was there. And he shot 2 over on Sunday.
Yeah.
Horrible day with the irons, but despite that, still was positive for the week with the iron play. Just had an off week. Let's dig into the round and see what happened here. Yeah. So he had, the back 9 on Sunday was rough. Took a double on 10. Took a bogey on 12 that cost him nearly a full shot on approach. But I like D Wu, and you know what? I'm so glad he beat B Wu, they're unrelated, but B Wu's been up there in the 7Ks forever, and D Wu's just been relegated to the 6Ks in DraftKings forever. I don't know. Anybody else?
Not this week.
It shouldn't be.
No.
Oh, DT just said placements are now up on DK. All right, let's just go through some outrights, and then we'll go back and look through some placements.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look through that. I don't know. God, freaking Luke List. What an ass.
No.
I know. I'm saying no. He burned me so
I
bad.
told you.
What was I doing? What was I thinking?
Dude, yeah, you got some kind of aroma, some Lukey aroma.
Yeah, just something happened to me. Maybe it was that Ritz-Carlton I was in. Something like there was something in the air, and it just made me start thinking, because I'm never really that much on Luke List.
What if Luke? Where were you? You were in
Amelia Island, yeah,
which is down kind of close to here, where Luke lives here in Augusta.
Yeah.
What if Luke had been there a week or two earlier, and you kind of smelled his pheromones or whatever he left behind?
I don't know. Yeah, I shouldn't have swam in that pool.
Dang, dude. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what got into you there. That's not a guy.
No,
Glover was the other one I mentioned at 80 to 1. Like, did you see him with the broomstick thing? You see him with the broomstick putter?
Yeah. I mean,
I want to. I mean, was that the first week he done that? The dude gained strokes putting last week.
Well, now, so then you got to certainly look at betting him if that's happening.
100%. And I mean,
where is he? What's his odds? What are we looking?
He's 80 to 1 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I mean, look. The thing about Lucas Glover's always been, I mean, he's a wonderful ball striker. If you follow Lucas Glover, if you have him in a lineup on DFS, or you've got a bet on him, all you see is a bunch of 10, like within 20-foot putts. Missed, 3-footer, missed.
Yeah. Listen, here's something, and people are going to go, oh, Lucas has one good week with that damn putter and everybody's losing it. Yeah. It was his best putting strokes gained week since the Honda of 2021. It's been 2 years since
crazy.
Luke List has putted like that. And it's been, I mean, he's only broken 1 stroke gained putting 1 time since August. And he gained 5.4 with the thingy, this thing. 5.4. I mean, if he comes back down and gains 2.5, he could win. That's how good his ball striking is, can be when he's on. And his record here at the Deere is sick. He's only gained in Lord, this is crazy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. In 12 years at the Deere, 12. He has been positive 1 time, and it was the year he won. He gained 3 strokes. There were 2 years he was neutral. He was dead neutral. 1 year he was positive, and the other 9 he was losing strokes. I think you have to hit that at 80 to 1.
Yeah, I agree.
In fact, I want to even look at his top. Well, I gotta see this real quick. Where he's plus 280 to top 20 on DraftKings. Plus 280, and he's plus 650 to top 10. I think you got to hit that.
Yeah. I agree. I am. I didn't come into the show thinking about Lucas Glover, but I'm with you there. Okay.
I'm surprised you're not saying your boy Sam Ryder. I kind of took a peek at Sam.
I just was looking at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, where did he end up last week? I know I saw him on the board, but where did he finish?
D40.
Yeah.
Round 1, 7 under round 1, 1 under round 2, 2 under round 3, 1 under 4. Yeah, I mean, he just couldn't get enough steam going. I mean, I guess the thing about him is he has been, he has been somewhat in contention before this season,
Yeah.
I like Lashley and Lauer. Those are probably the 3 remaining bombs for me are Lashley at around I think he's at 110 on points bet. Just as a guy who's can get hot and previous tour winner. We talked about Lashley a lot. I feel like in the last couple of events that have been terrible. And Lauer we talked about him at the top of the show, how well he played, just kind of how he does it in crunch time. He can really go low with the putter. He's 130 to 1 on DK. Played here last year, T51. But I mean, his gained 7.3 strokes at the Rocket. That's nice. What did he do with the putter this week? Yeah, I mean, he gained a ton this week too, like 6 shots.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is kind of an iron, precision iron, short irons, short to mid irons, and putting, right? That's what this is. So I think Lauer at 130 is a hit. And then how can we not bet Zach Blair at 250 to 1?
Zach.
He's
250
to 1 on points betting. Just damn near could have won the Travelers in an elevated event.
I mean, I agree.
I mean, it feels really yucky, but 250 to 1. Never really played well here, but I don't know. 250 is a lot. All right. Any other outrights for you?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I don't know. There's some guys up here that I'll probably end up looking at, but it's early, obviously. So.
Yeah. Let's look at some top 20s. Like, who would we, if we were doing, huh?
Well, I got to refresh. I don't see those yet. Where are you seeing those?
DraftKings. Yeah, you got to refresh. While you're doing that, don't forget to check out our friends at SoBet, baby. Dude, there's some handicappers on SoBet crushing the baseball gambling right now. So if you like to gamble on baseball, or even if you don't, you just like money and you're just sitting around. I bet tomorrow is going to be a great betting day for baseball. I don't know if there's games tomorrow. I would imagine there probably are, but
there are.
The SoBet crowd is going to crush the baseball stuff. I can tell you that right now. You got, certified handicappers who are good at what they do on the SoBet platform, posting great content, giving logic behind their plays, being transparent about the units won and lost. And you've got the top 40 exclusive Tour Junkies round robin on the SoBet, up 8 units on the season. So, yeah, check it out. The link in the description of the podcast. Use promo code TJ when you do, and you're going to get month-to-month access at $9.95 a month. Or you can use that code and check out the 6-month option to get full 6 months at just $39. So that'll take you into the NFL college football season. They'll be crushing it at that time, I'm sure, as well. So that'll get you 6 months with a nice little discount there if you use code TJ. Click the link. Come check it out. They've got a great platform. The app is on the way too. They've got an iOS and Android app in already in development, getting already approved by Google Play, and small tweaks to the app on iOS, and it will be here before you know it. So, I mean, right now the desktop version is probably the best way to look at it, and you can look at it on your phone. But the app is coming. We're already doing beta tests for the app, and it's fantastic. Get in early. They're adding new handicappers every week. They're approaching 40 handicappers on the platform. It's great content. So check that out. SoBet, link in the description. All right. Let's look at some top 20s. Do you got them now?
Yep, I got them.
All right, locks. I think Schenk and Cole, right?
Yeah, I agree. Those two.
Would you? Is there anybody that we think? I mean, is Grillo? Who? If you were to give a third lock, who would it be?
Kind of like a Taylor Moore at plus 165.
Okay.
I mean, Grillo, he's up there for me, plus 150.
I think I like Grillo a little, just slightly more than Moore, which is crazy to say, but I think I like him a little bit more.
I mean, you got Hadwin at plus 125.
Yeah, I mean, I like all four. I like all four of those. Like, I like Schenk, Cole, Hadwin, Grillo, that all at plus money.
Yeah.
I like that. Hadwin. What about some bombs?
Well, I really kind of like this, this range here where you've got like Dwoo at plus 260. You got Hubs in there at plus 250. I think
I don't like Hubs as much for like
for top 20.
Yeah,
I mean, he's just top 20 in every week. I feel
the last two.
Yeah, but bombs, for looking in that area, I mean,
I'd rather have Shez, Reavie, and Glover at plus 275 and 280 than Hubbard.
Yeah, I could see that, man. How things change.
Peter Cass
like this
3-1. Our bombs are normally 4-1 or longer. So let's see. Let's go. Let's
get into that range.
Boy, Cam Champ fucking pissed me off. That damn Scotty can't putt. And he came out hot on round 1. Round 2, I knew it was going to happen round 2. When he didn't birdie the par 5, and then he gets to 18, or his 18th, number 9, that little par 3, 209, and all he had to do was make a damn par, just a par. And I'm like, you know what? This MFer in a 200-yard par 3, what's he hitting? Like a damn gap wedge? Like, what's he hit? 209. He's probably hitting 8-iron. He doesn't even hit the green. How do you not hit the green with an 8-iron? You're a professional. And I knew it I knew he wasn't going to hit the green. He had all this green to work with too. Chips it out of the rough to 12 feet. And I was like, forget it. Made me so mad.
I tell you what, and I'm with you on Cam Champ, because a lot of people, we were all in on it. But Justin Lauer at plus 400 looks really good too. I'm really there for that one.
Zach Blair plus 5.
Just looking at it. Do you get in on the Carl Yuan thing?
Okay, would you rather have Carl? Would you rather have Carl or Marty Dew? Marty Dew's been bucking his head a little bit.
Yeah.
Small Daddy's there at plus 650. He needs a good week.
Man, yeah, he does.
What about Satoshi, dude? Satoshi Kadaira's plus 850. Finished top 40 last week. His irons are usually pretty solid, right?
I tell you who I was looking at earlier when we were talking about the outrights, and I don't know. I feel like I saw him up there having some decent rounds, and early in the season I was on some Robbie Shelton. Oh God, plus 600
hurts me so bad. I love Robbie Shelton, and he has never worked out.
No, he doesn't. And maybe I didn't see him up. Well, where did he finish last week? He missed 3 cuts ahead of that. He did have a top 30 at the Schwab. Where did he finish last week?
Is Pac-Man Jones in our YouTube? Hey, listen, maybe Pac-Man became a fan of the show after we were on Pat McAfee's show.
Yeah.
What if that's really him? Judging by the intelligence of the comment here, and that's not a knock on Pac-Man Jones' intelligence overall, but his golf knowledge is very limited. His question to me on the McAfee show was extremely noob. So I don't think this is I don't think you're the real Pac-Man Jones. You're out there.
I don't know.
You're out there impersonating Pac-Man.
You never know. All right, I don't see any other top 20s that really jump out at me.
What about? I've been liking this top 10 market a little bit. I mean, dude, Henley's 2-1 to top 10. What's like? Do you have a lock top 10? Denny at plus 180. That's got to be a lock, right? Like,
okay, where are you getting the top 10s? I don't see those either.
Go back to God. Have you never navigated DraftKings? You just go back to tournament winner, and they have winner, top 5, top 10 in 3 columns.
I don't have that.
Pat.
Oh wait, yeah. There.
Come on, dude.
No, listen. If before you refresh, they didn't have top 5 and top 10 right there. They just had winner. They didn't have those in there when I first started the show.
What's your lock top 10? Lock. Absolute lock. Like Ricky lock last week. Can't lay lock at Travelers. Lock top 10. Almost don't even care about the number. Forget the number. Just lock top 10.
Let me. This is a big question here. Lock top 10. I don't want to go up the top. I want to get a little crazy.
No. This is lock.
Okay, lock.
This is lock it up. This is literally.
This is not. There's no way it's not happening.
If you place this bet, whatever it says your payout is going to be, you can go ahead and spend the money. Go ahead and spend it because it will hit your account on Sunday evening. And then you can spend it on whatever you want because it's going to happen.
Russell Henley. I wanted to say Eric Cole.
I know, I do too.
I really wanted to say Eric Cole, but I
for me, I think it's between McCarthy, Cole, or Schenk, and Henley. I think it's Denny. I think it's Denny.
You going with the favorite?
Yeah. Yes, I'm going with a plus money.
I know.
Lock.
Yeah.
Spend the cash. Yes.
Okay.
Good stuff, man. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
We got a couple of announcements. The week, okay? Strange week, okay? It's John Deere A, B, 4th of July stuff. No emails coming out this week. Those are gone. Joe Idoni is on vacation. We're going to let him have his vacation. Me and Pat would also like to enjoy our families on Tuesday. Everybody's off. Kids are ready to do something. So we'll do that. Pat, I'm going to get into what you're cooking up for 4th of July here in a second. Maybe you can pump the Nut Hut's Golby's Kitchen channel, which I hear is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And so none of that. My show with Gutsy on the SoBet platform will be going down today at 1:30. You can catch that on our Twitter, on SoBet's Twitter or Twitch. It's always a fun time. We're going to have a special surprise guest today. And also our DFS show. So here's what we're going to do. Our normal Better Sports Network show that we do every week, we are going to use that show to do our DFS breakdown. So we will not have like a DFS show and the Better Sports Network show. So if you want to catch the DFS breakdown, which I'm excited to talk about because I've done a lot of research into this tournament historically from a DFS perspective. I want to get into that. We're going to do that on our BSN show. We're going to record that this evening, Monday evening. Not sure when they'll actually air it, so stay tuned for that. But we'll make sure it goes up on our YouTube channel as well. But it'll just have the Better Sports Network kind of thumbnail on the YouTube channel. But I'll also try to get the audio so we can throw it in our podcast feed if you want to do that. No sleepers video this week, but Wednesday back to normal programming. So we'll do our lunchtime live chat with the fam in the Discord on Wednesday for lunch, and then me and Pat will be back at it Wednesday night, chatting it up for the John Deere, having a good time in there. That is the schedule for this week. We also have a new show to announce. I'm excited about. Pat and I've been planning some things, and we want to drop something on a Thursday or Friday. I don't know if it's going to be weekly yet. It might be, but I think we're going to start out maybe more bi-weekly, and we're going to bring in our boy Blake Kazava. If you're in the Discord, you know him as Progress Over Perfection, our resident PGA teaching professional. Blake out there in Colorado, young kid, hilarious, really great instructor too, knows the game extremely well. And Pat and I love playing golf, and we talk about it all the time. And we love swing stuff and like nerding out on that and equipment. And we love making fun of swing videos and YouTube golfers and all this other stuff. And Blake is perfect for this. So Blake is going to host the show, and me or Pat are going to be on it with him when we do it. It's called One Groove Low. One Groove Low. It's going to be a quick show, but it's going to be about, a little bit of everything but betting and DFS. So swing analysis, both good and bad swing analysis. We're going to bring in some Nut Hut golf swings that have been submitted. So I'm looking forward to that. There's some bangers in there, but nobody does swing breakdown videos like Blake. He's just so funny, but he also knows what the hell he's talking about. So it's going to be good. We're going to do some equipment reviews and training aid reviews, especially the bad ones. And we're also going to find, Blake's like, dude, there's so much bad advice on the golf game out there on the internet between YouTube and Instagram and all that. There's so much bad advice. I want to poke it's going to be funny. It's going to be light. It's just going to be all things golf kind of outside of the professional game, maybe. So check that out when it drops. Expect that to drop in the next couple of weeks. The first episode, One Groove Low with Blake Kazaba.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I can't wait to join it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a better fitted. We'll drop it on the podcast feed, but I think it'll be a better fitted show for YouTube viewers because we're going to have some visuals. Blake's going to bring some swings up, and we're going to roast influencers and stuff and just have a good time. So you're going to want to watch it. So if you don't have subscription, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you need to do that. And if you haven't turned notifications on when we drop new videos, you should do that. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it as well. Hope everybody has a great week. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy it. Be safe. Be responsible. Pat,
keep all your fingers.
Yeah. What are you cooking?
I got a few things. I did a smoked salsa yesterday that I made on the smoker. Talk about the Nut Hut. I mean, we got Golby's Kitchen in there and old D Hess, who's a fantastic cook.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good cooks in there. He sent me he DM'd me a smoked salsa recipe. He saw that I've got my garden and some fresh jalapenos and tomatoes. And so I did that yesterday, prepared it. It's done. Going to do a little pork butt. And and then I'm going to do some ribs tomorrow. I have those cooking all the way up till we do little fireworks, tailgating, and whatever else. So it's going to be good. I'm excited. I like Bob's comment in here.
Yeah.
That was good. So, what about you? You already did a Boston butt.
Yeah.
You did a butt. So.
I already did the butt, man. We're already almost done with that damn thing. I mean, I tell you what, I get it, and I go through all this, and I get it just like I want it. I get that good bark on there, which I love, and it tastes delicious. And, I get a little bit of it. And then if I don't hide it, which I can't hide it because I only have one refrigerator, my 18-year-old eats the whole damn thing before I really get to enjoy it. So it's like almost gone. I think he's had it for dinner, and then 2 nights in a row at like midnight, he makes another plate. So it's almost gone, which I'm not really happy about, but it is.
You're gonna have to start putting locks on your Tupperware.
Yeah, I gotta figure. I gotta get a new fridge. Maybe my wife will let me put a fridge in the room, in the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know what I need to do? I need to do the ribs thing. I got a smoker, and I've never really, like, I just love, Boston butts so much. I need to branch out. Like, you know how you just get the thing that you love
Yeah,
and I need to branch out. I need to
well,
do
and there's so many different ways that people like to tell you to do ribs. You kinda
Mhm,
have to figure out what works for you. Um, so I'm kind of a fan of the, throw them on there, low heat for a long time, take them off, throw them in tinfoil, kinda finish them off like that.
mhm.
But some people, I think I forget what they call it. There's some sort of method for it. I'm sure D Hess can tell me in the.
Maybe I'll slide in D Hess's
Yeah,
DM.
he can tell you. So, but a lot of people have different ways they like to do ribs, and you do St. Louis style ribs. You do the baby backs. I typically do the baby backs.
I like that, yeah.
So,
Okay.
try it out. See what happens.
Good stuff. Thanks, everybody. Let's have a great week. Check out the DFS show. Bend over your bookies. See ya.
Out.